everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rooted and Real podcast. If this is your first time here, my name is Abiola and this is
Yinka.
So welcome to this episode. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? I mean, this is a fantastic podcast. You know, it's a gift from us to you. And your comments, your watches, your likes, your shares are also gifts from you to us. So please subscribe and share with your friends. Anyways, today we're going to be discussing what we imagined as parents, before we became parents, what our wishes, our desires were before we jumped into the hood, and now what it is like, and how we're moving on from what it is like. And I mean, for anyone watching, I want you to know it's not wrong for you to have desires, expectations, imaginations. I remember I always tell you that when I was in school, imagine that I would get married at the age of 22, 23 and have my 4 kids before the age of 30, but I'm 33 now and I don't have 4 kids and I'm still even figuring. And I also thought I was going to go into interior decor after school, graduate, have my job and be in interior decor business and all, but I'm not in that, but I'm loving it, So that's just to let you know that it is normal for us to have desires, imaginations, but then again, it's all up to God to decide, what He has called us for. So yes, over to you.
Oh well, so for me, I have like a particular style. Like how the way we were brought up is different from the way we are trying to. Maybe relatively, we pick the good ones and the ones we don't want, right? Sure. So I've always thought like maybe when I'm parenting my children, I have like a particular style
that you go with.
I want my child at the age of 4, I want them to have achieved this. At the age of 6, I want them to have achieved this. Yes, and there comes like your partner, my spouse, like, okay, well, I know you have these big
we
big
forget
dreams.
that part of
we forget that
we are doing it
with
somebody.
Together. And then they are going to come with their own input. They're going to come with their own styles as well. I think true. We have our styles, they have their style. The combination is what makes us family.
Yes.
Coming together. But before then, I was thinking, 4 years old, my daughter, best keyboardist or pianist or whatever it's being called, the best musician, probably playing all the instruments in this world, singing, expectations on you that when you are living your life, you're also trying to move on in your own career,
figuring out your own life.
Yourself. Then you remember when we were saying that we want all these lessons for them, but there's no time. Because there are a lot of things we are doing, right? There are a lot of things you are doing. And so if you're a mom out there, you're thinking like, or you may be a mom to be. I'm sure moms will relate.
I think moms relate more this episode. I believe that moms to be will learn from this. It will help them. It will help shape their expectations and imaginations and the faith. And
so it's okay for you to have your desires. So it's okay for you to have your styles. It's okay to imagine things, but also understand that it's not just about you.
Yes.
You also need to study your children. You want to know what is good for them, they like. It's not about what you want. And I remember saying that you also want to parent, like you want them to be a version of us. So you're trying to all the things we can achieve. You want to enforce it on them.
Yes.
That,
that's so
huge. Because I remember wanting to play guitar. I had like I had a teacher I was learning, but when I went to university, I could not just continue. I was just like, I focus on academic. I was, my daughter, hey, you will play that guitar, you play the piano, you play everything. But really, what if she does not want?
What if she doesn't like? Exactly. That's true. Let me actually speak to that. Where we parents want to project our childhood interest and desires on our children because maybe we couldn't do it, or maybe because we enjoyed it so much and we just want them to. It's okay to speak to them about it and introduce it. But if they don't want it, we can't force it on them. They are different. They are wired differently. They are not how people think they are the corrected version of you. Like you want them to have there's a word for it where you're projecting. I think I said that already. You're projecting the childhood you didn't have upon them. So I remember my daughter was watching. She loves they all love watching. I said they like Well, the older ones love watching kids talent show, especially. So she was watching one where a girl was, if a 3 year or 4 year old girl was singing, like she was singing eloquently and all, very composed. And I could see her face, like just looking at the girl. And then she was like, Mommy, why can't I? She's 4. Why can't I sing like that? And then at some point, I felt like, oh, is it that I did not I've not done enough in exposing her to music, to singing. If she really loves singing and all. But then I realized that, and I think we had this conversation where you actually pointed out the fact that if you study that girl's family, it's possible that the parents are actually in that line, and then she was already naturally introduced without the parents doing extras.
Even if they would do extra, like it's already maybe that's what they are doing, or maybe the father is like a keyboardist, like one already playing for a band or something.
And also I also imagined, oh my goodness, so many things I imagined as a mom, that once I become a mother, that Pinterest board version of motherhood, where you're like this, that, vision boarding your motherhood journey. I had all those things. My goodness, my children will be enrolled in this, in all this, and that, and you forget that. Hey, girl, like you have to also be committed to that. Things beyond even there's the financial aspect too. There's the mental aspect. Like we said, we are figuring ourselves as mothers. And then there's a child who wants this, wants that. One thing I've come to do for my own self, in this my own face, because all those ones are aesthetics. The motherhood version I was imagining are aesthetics. This one that I'm living in, the ones we can do outside of the house, we will. The ones that as a mother I've become a teacher, I become a coach, I become a everything.
And thank God for YouTube, right?
Thank God for YouTube. The ones we will do together, where I'm also learning. I'm also even living my own childhood dream through myself, not necessarily through their own lenses, right? I'm doing, so that I'm not consumed by I wish this, I wish that, or no.
And even though mothers, we want this for our children, we're not saying that don't project something good for them. It's not like we're not saying that you should not. Of course. Some people might not. A kid might not know that she's interested in something until they're exposed to it. So we're not saying that we should not like have dreams, or we should not want our kids to be this. It could be based on our own influence that the kids might just pick up the interest, and then they will be good at it. But what we are trying to say is just that the fact that we want something, we should not necessarily enforce it. Like even the kid is telling you, Mommy, I don't want to, for example,
because of our own dream, of motherhood we had, a desire and expectations.
Exactly. Let me give you an example. I watch, I don't know, is it The Voice? I don't know.
America's Got Talent?
America Idol.
Okay,
I watch that a lot. So, and I told you that my daughter loves to sing.
Yes.
So we were now watching the latest one recently. Okay. I was not like saying that, do you want to go there one day? She said no, that I just want to sit down and watch. I know she's still young. I was like, I saw you don't want to like go and sing. I said no. I'm not. No, I just want to sit down and watch. When the guy was singing, is he making them happy? I said, yeah, I think people are smiling. Well, I'll just sit down and watch them. But I know she loves to sing. I could have said, it's very good for you. Although I'm exposed, she might later pick up interest. I don't know. But right now, she's just saying that. I was like, if I was the one, I was like, yes, Mommy, please take me to this. Well, again, I don't want to be like I'm forcing her, because she might get there. She might just even lose interest in the songs or the singing that she's already doing, right? But we can go in different aspects of life, like the way we do what we do. And
that thing I imagined, you imagine, you wake up in the morning, and then you have slow mornings, perfect mornings. You wake up being that mom that you love your children, you don't need to shout at them. And you imagine yourself being that mom that tidy else every time you speak to your child and you say, hey, take this, and immediately they go, they take it.
Yes. Maybe you're seeing other people or maybe you are seeing just 10 seconds of someone's life of being so happy. Well, when I grow up, definitely my kids, why is it, or maybe you are judging other people, like, why is it like their kids are not if I'm the one, I will have done this.
Wait for your turn.
I remember when my sister had like her first daughter, I was we were so close. She was like my first, daughter too, because I really love her. We're always bonding. We're far away, or we do like video call. I would tell her, I will read for her. I will do all those things. I was always
You were the best
pouring, like,
auntie.
because I did not have any other thing. I was just walking. So I was always pouring into her. I was just, I was asking me, why don't you want to read? Yes, I'm tired right now. I will do it later. I said, why won't you want to do it? But now that I'm a mom of 2 kids, I know the days that I'm just tired. But then I was like, I was single, no kids.
So
So
that's
just the
the
only
eyes we
one
use in
viewing
viewing our
things.
lives, forgetting that, oh
That
my
it's
goodness,
not always it's not
it's
black and
forgetting that
white.
it's a lot.
It's a
Like you
lot.
said, that you're figuring your own life
Like,
as well. Because
yeah.
remember that we also are growing. Things
Yeah.
about us are changing.
Changing
What you
that
used
for
to like
sure
yesterday
is
is no
totally
longer what
different.
you like today, and you're developing new interests that
For
you
sure.
also you want to grow
Going
in.
in,
And then
yeah.
there's the time.
Mm-hmm.
So in that time, you're putting yourself, putting your marriage,
Marriage,
putting
putting
your husband, putting the
putting
kids, putting every other, because you're
the
still a daughter, you're still a sister, you're
sisters,
still a friend,
friend,
you're still in
exactly.
a community.
Yeah,
There's just a lot,
a lot,
and so
yeah.
we don't factor those things
Things we
in.
just judge based on 1 second or 1 2 seconds video we see and believe that that's how
Honestly.
it should be.
Honestly, and then it's easy for moms to now judge themselves that I'm feeling as a mom.
Oh yes,
And that's where
yes.
you should go watch that Guilt to Grace,
If you
where you
haven't,
don't
go
you
watch it.
don't think you're a failed mom because the motherhood you dreamt is
Dreamt
dying. No,
is
it is only maturing, because you
maturing.
yourself, you're maturing. You
Yeah,
yourself, you're evolving. Our
yeah,
words,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're evolving.
You will not. Some people, and this also a little bit. There's a risk in this. Some people will involve. They might end up not liking the version of themselves that they have now, and they might
Mm.
be like, "Oh, I really love myself like 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago."
Mm.
But the
Mm.
truth is, I think you should just embrace it. There are
Embrace.
stages in life. The stage we are right now might be like it's so tiring because
Mm.
we have a lot of things we are
Lots of
doing.
things,
Like
yeah.
we are pouring everything into these kids, and we're also trying to pour everything into our business. We're also trying to pour everything into our
So
career, our home, and the like. So you might feel like this stage might be a little bit stressful. The truth is, it, 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 it depends on how you can see stress as a good thing and you can see it as a bad thing,
Yes.
or your attitude towards it
Does it matter?
will I would like what's the word, we influence how stressed you are. That's the thing.
Yes,
Because if you see
yes.
it like, oh, this is just my life,
And it's
this
an
is it's an
opportunity for
opportunity
me
for me
to
to
grow.
be to grow, you will find happiness in it, and it's not necessarily stressful. I'm not saying that it's not stressful.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not
It is
saying that, but
exactly.
it depends on how you see
It
things.
is
The
stressful.
lens.
That's why we're having a conversation about it.
Yeah. But that will help you mentally.
Yes,
Like it will help you
yes.
mentally. You will calm down. You will
And it'll
just
be good for moms also, like moms who to also share like how they're managing,
yes. How you doing it?
the parenting style you imagined. Like how are you, like, just to speak to what you just said now,
Mm-hmm.
for people who are stressed and they are not enjoying
Enjoying
it and
it.
they're just
Yeah.
complaining about it. Like how
Yeah.
are you channeling, positivity to that angle,
That.
where you're helping
Yeah.
yourself not to just remain in that phase where you're complaining,
Complaining. Yeah.
and then transferring aggression to
Aggression
your kids
to
sometimes.
yes,
Yes,
which is. Well, you know, there's some people are natural. Like they love kids so much, like that is their own core. I'm not saying that that's not our core, is our core too, but it's just
yeah.
like how they want to do. I was watching on TikTok, someone said my life I've always wanted to be a mom, and she does not want to work. She just wants to be a mom.
Mom.
So the stress is like it's like our own energy, because that's really what she wanted. You know,
Yeah,
there's some
but
people like that.
nobody can do, regardless of where you are, you can't really do anything by your own
That's
strength or by
real,
your
yeah,
own
for
power.
sure.
So it
Yeah.
depends. I'm working on the project, the surrendered woman, you know going from striving to being surrendered and just letting the Holy Spirit, God, just take control. And it also reflects in our mother with the level to which we've actually surrendered, where we are not doing
Do
things from
things
our
for
strength.
strength.
Because I find out that it's when I'm trying to do things from the place of my strength that I really struggle. But
Yeah.
when I do things from the place of surrendering and just let, and that's what I'm practically learning. And also to speak to that woman, comparing that woman to maybe moms like us that are still growing, is we've grown at different levels as humans. Naturally, forget even the part of motherhood or parenting, we are bound to get to a point where we feel stressed, because normally with life, you're working, life feels stressful. You are, so it doesn't mean that the mom that maybe finding it stressful are not called to be moms. It doesn't mean that. But it just means that maybe in that level of being moms, they've really surrendered. But maybe in other aspects, they may not have surrendered as you surrendered. So, and that's something I'm really learning and working on as well. That it's not just an aspect of. It's easy people say my finances are surrendered to the Lord. But marriage, your husband said this, but then you are grumbling. But the Holy Spirit is telling you, just be quiet. You've not surrendered fully in that level, right?
So if you haven't watched
episode before this episode,
go watch it. Go watch it.
Yes, sustaining the bond in marriage. Wow, two good parents, two great parents, and a struggling
marriage. So go watch that as well.
Yes,
I love the word surrender because pride is something that is destroying all homes right now.
Yes.
If you look at the root of divorce or things going on, it starts with pride. Because if you are not proud, if we surrender ourselves, we look at things differently through different lenses. So that's a big topic. Like surrendering is nobody wants to surrender. Imagine we are happy.
The flesh
does not want to surrender.
You want to prove your rights. And even with as this also ties into this our topic, you know how?
Yeah.
The place of we complaining and feeling like we're not enjoying motherhood is from the place of pride. Pride in what we imagined.
Oh, yeah, I like
pride
that.
in the parenting style I imagined.
Yes.
Pride in, but this is the life God has given you now. This is the life you have now.
Just enjoy it.
Be thankful.
Yeah.
Find community that you can relate with. You can learn from. You can express yourself with. That's it. Like, it's the life. And that I really love what you said about it may feel stressful.
Yeah,
but it is, you need to enjoy it.
Yes.
And we need to enjoy motherhood. You need to enjoy parenting. If you have children, you cannot force them out of your life. See, you can force a friend out of your life. You can be doing boundary or be saying, good, for me, you cannot force your child out of your life for crying out loud, especially in the early phase.
I think you said something last week.
In the early phase, you cannot.
Your child is your friend. Like, so there's nothing. You said, I don't want this friend, I don't want this. He's already your friend. Like, you are together forever.
You brought a natural friend.
You brought a natural friend.
And guess what you have with that friend? You have the ability. God has given us the ability to shape them.
Yeah.
The way God would help you. And even in a selfish way, the way you desire to an extent, because the way you can enjoy your child. See something. We enjoy our friendship. Why? Because you like me.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yes.
So if we want to enjoy our children, we like them. And how can we like them? We like the values in them. You like the values in me. That's why we are friends. I like the values in you. That's why we are friends. I enjoy your company. That's why we are friends.
Exactly.
Regardless of, will I upset you? Will you upset me? Yes. But do we have that connection? Yes. So that's the same thing with our children. We want to enjoy motherhood.
So if you did not put great values in them, you will enjoy. Oh, I like that. So are you hearing that? Can you hear that?
That's really it. So if you want to enjoy it's what you're showing them, and then they will now grow to become. They will grow to become the
what you are showing them.
Yes.
So if you're always angry, if you're always negative,
they'll learn it too.
That's all.
That's a reminder for me too, because I still shouted yesterday night.
I know, right? Yeah, not yesterday night, this morning.
So okay, my sister. So you see, we are so can you see that we are figuring it out, but are we enjoying it? Yes, we have to. We'll create moments to enjoy. We enjoy it, You have to. So mothers out there, mothers to be, you will enjoy the motherhood that you find yourself in. You will imagine, have your imaginations, have your vision, Pinterest board, like I said, version of motherhood. Have it all. But guess what? You will surrender it all.
You will surrender it all, yeah.
You have it all and surrender it all.
This is also, you see, with the way we are doing this video, we're also talking to ourselves, really, because this surrendering, it's something we all need to learn how to do. It's not something that will come naturally.
Yeah.
I remember something happening,
and it's deliberate.
Yeah, it's deliberate. God was telling me, I was going on a way. I would take a walk. I was like, oh God, I want to do this. I'm not just going to cringe. I was like, God, I want to do this. I want to be able to do this. God now told me that I need to go inward. I need to start from my home before you can give out.
Whoa.
And I was just like, Interesting. So I need to start. He said God was definitely that was God telling him that I need to. You can't give what you can't. You don't have. You need to start from your home first. Then you can now say, "Oh yes, you are ready. Now go outside." So imagine if, and then the devil will not come in a way that it will be bringing things that you want to start because you're like, oh no, that is you refusing to surrender at that point, right? Because the devil have a way of saying that, oh, God has given this girl an assignment, so I will see how you achieve it.
Do it. Yeah.
So this is when surrendering comes, and God, this is what you've said. I've given you. Just take me as I am and allow me. But the devil is also working. So this is how we control our flesh to know that our flesh cannot just listen to anything. Our flesh cannot. That's a lot of things comes in right now because our flesh is something. If you're not protecting it, that is people around you, people you listen to, what you watch on social media. It's always come back to this flesh.
Yes.
But you allow God to take control and take charge. All the negativities coming in, you will just see yourself just, taking them out and really allowing God to use you.
Yes. It's that our flesh part. You know, the funniest thing as you're speaking, the desires, the expectations, the plans we had sometimes was a plan from the place of flesh.
Yes.
And that's why that place of surrender. I don't know why surrendering is just being the highlight of this episode. You know, it comes from the place of flesh. And also, God, and that's why surrendering to God is key. Because God is the one you are 22 or you're 20 and you're planning you are drafting for your motherhood journey, you're doing your vision boarding for it, you're writing your expectations and all. If you did not surrender at that point where you were planning, then you plan from the place of flesh. So when you now start motherhood itself, that's the place where you learn to surrender. You have to practically surrender it, because again, the God we are surrendering to, which is what inspired our Rooted and Real podcast name, the God we are surrendering to is the God that knows the tomorrow, that can plan with us. So when we plan from the place of flesh, that's where we become adamant and proud that it has to be this way or this way. Or sometimes it's even like me, that I said I want to get married at my parents got married, my mom got married early, so she had her kids early. So guess what? So when and that was what I used in shaping my own desires. It wasn't really God giving me the desires. It was what I could see and also it inspired me that, okay, I want to get married early. She had the four of us first, and then now had our baby brother when I was in uni. So I've always imagined that, I will have the four, then I will have the last one once all of them are out of the house to have, so all those things. But is it God's will for me? I don't know. Maybe it's not. So that is where surrender. So that was the motherhood. That was the distance I had. But girl, did I even surrender by 40 years? And for instance, when you're saying something about like how so many things, this is a personal, I don't know if I'll cut it or if I'll leave it, depending, I don't know from it. But I wanted to say it, I didn't want to forget. So before we moved, one of the things God was inspiring us to do, maybe I would say me, was to have like a thing with women, worship and with kids. So all along, when I shared with my husband, he to add a desire of like not fellowship, but having people around. So, but we never, took it serious. And then so when we moved, so we were thinking about like something like having fellowship with just worship time. I think I shared with you like the worship thing with people. And but eventually I could sense that was in the direction God was leading us. But then what God was now showing me was me having like babies and more babies. It was really babies I saw. So I then thought, okay, maybe it was like a baby thing and all.
Yeah, like a daycare.
So it was just recently that, yes, like a daycare thing. So it was just recently that I was just really pondering on it. And then it was making me understand why I had a baby even more and what it was for. So I'll share personally what that one is all about. So it was just now like I was just really connecting to when God has a plan for us, and then we have an idea of what it should be. But when we don't surrender it, we just go far out into what we thought it should be, whereas God has a picture of what it should be actually. So I just thought to say that. It just
the
came to
interpretation
mind.
of when we surrender, we need to understand hear God.
Yes,
We need
yes.
to hear God.
Surrender our will, surrender, and it cuts across various aspects of life. Because see how I just shared that part when we were seeing it, we're just really strong on my spirit. It cuts across various aspects. And then you said something at the beginning where we forget that we are not doing the parenting alone.